Are we live?
I think so. Yeah, it's
We're
in
live.
7 seconds.
Okay, good. So let me go ahead and put this on my page. Is anybody on? Let me go ahead and say that. Post this. Say I was her. I'm gonna tag you in this.
It says
and
2,
say,
5. Okay, number's going up.
Live on my YouTube now.
It's lit.
It's lit. Okay. Hey guys, what's going on? How are you? What is happening? This is obviously my friend who needs no introduction. Maybe she does a little bit with Amber.
What's going on?
Amber. Amber, you go ahead and oh, you on time. Oh, okay. Well, that's good as long as we on time. So we on time somewhere. I'm never on time, y'all. I had to go to the bathroom, and it was what it was. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry about last week. I missed last week. I went ahead and I'm posting things now to say that I'm on live. So I'm glad that some of you guys know that I'm supposed to be on at 7, and we're patiently waiting for me. So thank you. But yes. So this week I came on with my buddy.
What's going on, guys?
Day one, day dot.
You know what I'm saying?
Amber.
It's been like, what, 11 years, 11 plus years?
It has to be.
I was like 20. I'm 30, like 12 years.
Wait, 20. Hold up. I thought I was 19. I had to be 19.
Yeah, because you're younger than me.
So 19, I'm 31. I'm turning 32 this year. It's about 11, 12 years.
Yeah, we've been in this thing.
It's like my longest relationship.
Mine too. Like all of them combined, just about. No, actually,
no, you're right. All of them combined. I think all my relationships, all of them combined, is not as long as this. It actually might be a little shorter than our friendship, honestly. But yes, I missed you guys too. I'm gonna let Amber introduce herself, talk about herself for a little bit, and then let me get these questions going. I'm gonna get these questions up while she talks about herself.
Hey, my name's Amber. 32. I'm a Libra. I never know what to say to these things. You know, I work, you know what I'm saying? I do graphic design on the side. I chill, I drink wine.
All my graphics.
Yeah, I do all the graphics. There was some I didn't do. I do majority of them. What else do I do? I mean, I play video games. You know what I'm saying?
I work.
I work. You know, that's pretty much it.
There you go.
I work, I meditate, I do my crystal thing.
Right.
You know.
Hello. And that's it.
A little hippie. You know?
Let's see what the craziest question is on here. But there was long questions, short questions. But anyway, guys, the name of the game. The name of the game. The name of I Was Her is basically me coming on with my friends, by myself, and we're just basically speaking, answering questions related to our experience. It doesn't have anything to do with, you know, whether or not, this is not me speaking in professional capacity. It's not her speaking from professional capacity. She got her degree in psychology. But do not take this as professional advice. It's just us giving advice as friend to friend, what we would say to our buddies, what we would say to our friends. So that's what we're here to do. We're not going to be talking any more or any less than that. So that's the name of the game. And we've got a lot of questions, and we will also take questions on live. So that is what we'll do. And there's really not a question. There's questions I won't answer on some level, but there's probably not a question that I wouldn't answer. I mean, I will probably answer all of them. If I don't answer it, she'll answer it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So we're
I ain't never remember.
Yeah. We're both we are both, which, you know, we're both going through something at the same time, so which is really interesting and unique. So that's
tend to be how
our lives goes.
Every time we're going through something, we link up.
We link up. And that's because Amber's the type to, when she's in a relationship, she isolates.
Whoa. Don't do that. I don't. I try to focus, my energy
on the
towards
person
the
she's
person
with.
I'm with, and usually they're very demanding with the energy. So, which is why we're in the space that I am right now.
Right. Well, and so I'm really happy to see you guys. It's been a great. I mean, I've had a little hiatus from social media, which is really cleansing for me. It's really awesome. So yes, listen. We've got our wine. You already know what time it is.
Nothing fancy, just some Sutter Home.
If you ever hear me saying to somebody with Soraya on Miracle Money, like, bruh, this is bruh. Bruh is this. Is this person right here is Amber. I call her bruh. I do never really ever call her Amber. I call her bruh. So anyway, she calls me bruh. So that's what we do. Anyway, nonetheless, thank you guys. I had just got my hair done today. I normally don't get it done on Thursdays, but I have some things I got to do tomorrow. So thank God, already Blowout Artist is my girl at Blowout Artist on IG. That's my girl, Tierra. And so anywho, we're just gonna dive into some topics and just go into it because this is what we like to talk about.
What we got?
All right, let me do the one. I'm gonna do the long question that I got. I think I took pictures of it. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey Sam, I just want to start off telling you that I think you're amazing. I pray God can use you. So I had a situation in which my friend of 30 plus years suddenly left my life. She blocked me from social media and from my phone. Now I suspect that another person that I thought was a friend might have something to do with it, but I am not certain. I introduced them last year and the new girl suddenly started befriending my friends, which I thought was weird, but didn't pay much attention to it. The new friend, for some reason, there was always something about her that did not sit well with me. However, I ignored everything. Recently, she and I had a fallout, and in her mind, she sees things that are not there, so that's where we have issues. Anyways, it's weird that both at the same time have blocked me. Funny how I had prayed to God to remove everything and everyone that means no good in my life from me. But now that he's done, or she, I think it's she's done, I'm confused. I've tried to contact my friend for 30 years, but she does not does not return any of my calls. I finally sent her an email, express my feelings. My conscience is clear. I've done nothing. I'm just really sad that she doesn't even try to explain what happened. What would you do, Amber?
So sorry, something was sticking me, and it's been so I was kind of paying attention.
Your first question, Amber.
Sorry.
Your first one.
It was sticking me. I couldn't figure it out. I've been toying with it. All right, you said her best friend for 30 years.
She said it seemed like her friend of 30 plus years. That's
just all of a sudden stop hitting her up.
Stop talking to her. Blocked her on everything.
One of their, I guess, mutual friends or someone she introduced her with also started blocking her.
Yeah. And she feels like it's related, like some things they're related. The reason why they're not talking is related.
And she's tried reaching out and got no response.
Yeah, she's tried reaching out and got no response.
I mean, the only thing I can think of. So okay, I mean, the only way I would kind of give advice, because you can't really. You kind of exhausted all of your options. If you reached out and the person's just not responding, I mean, there's nothing much you can, I wouldn't pull up on a person or nothing like that.
Right.
My mom is real old school. She writes Dear John letters. You know what I'm saying? So hit her with I feel like I've done everything that she can do. I feel like I've done everything that I can do, and I wish that there was a way we can reconcile this friendship, and kind of just leave it at that. I would speak my piece. The best way I could speak my piece, and just lay everything out on my end, and just kind of put a if you ever want to talk to me about whatever, reach back out. Really hate to see the friendship go, but if this is what you wanted, how you want it to go, I mean, that's how you want it to go. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do. But I mean, the only thing I can say is to put something out there that says I'm closing this chapter.
Right.
I wish you well.
Right.
Take care. mean, there's not much else you can do, to be honest with you.
So this is what I'll say. So right now, you guys, really quickly, I'm on live on YouTube. Everybody that's on my IG, I'm live on YouTube right now. I just decided to put y'all in. This is something new I'm trying. This is Amber.
What's up?
The buddy, the homie, bruh.
AKA bruh.
AKA bruh. We've
AKA
been
TT Amber.
AKA TT Amber. We have been friends now for probably 11, 12 years. We are each other's longest relationship. All of them combined. This is the longest one. So anyway, we are now answering a question that came from and this is the only question I'm going to answer on IG Live. You have to see the rest of the show by coming to my YouTube. So anyway, nonetheless, Amber, the question was basically this young lady who has been friends with a person for over 30 years. This friend basically ghosted her. She has no idea why. She's never understood. She's tried to reach out. She's done everything in her power. She thinks it has something to do with a friend, but she's not really sure if that's true or not. She's not really sure what the situation is. So now she's asking, what should I do? What do I do in the situation since the friendship or whatever happened with the friendship? I would say, honestly, this is where you really have to come to terms, because you said you've come to peace with it, but I don't think you have, because you wrote me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Y'all, I got a glass of wine.
I don't
want to
protect that.
So I would honestly say I don't feel like you've really come to peace or come to terms with the situation. And to me, it seems like, or feels like, there's something that might be that you're not telling me, that maybe there is a reason why these two friends have ganged up together and not communicated
like
with
the fact that she thinks that they're related, like the fact that one of the other friends also blocked her too, is like she feels you kind of understand, you know what's going on.
Right. Like you I don't feel like you're I'm not saying that you're guilty, but I'm not saying that you're innocent either, because something about the situation just feels like, you know, a little bit like, how do you know that it's one other friend and you like, oh, well, she just did I don't necessarily believe that two people conspire against you, especially a person that's been friends with you for 30 plus years, just drops you like a hot potato.
I can think of would be like, say if there was something that happened that she might not have thought it was a big deal. So like, you know, say if like, say if like you just didn't come to like a birthday party or something that you like they deemed like super important, but you didn't deem like super important. So it might just like went over your head as far as like importance to them. So that's probably why she's like, I don't understand what's going on, because she's probably thinking that, you know, she's probably like racking her brain about every kind of incident that happened and isn't really fully understanding that maybe they impacted them a little bit differently.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's really nothing you can do besides, you know, you reached out, if you haven't reached out to the other person, you try to reach out to the other person to see, but you don't want to also be like, you know, you're going behind my back or something like that. You know, some people are weird like that as well. But I mean, I would just reach out and, you know, try to, like I said, give like your end of the bar, like your end of the deal, and be like, hey, this is where I'm at with it. I don't know what it is that I've done. And maybe that is the issue, that I don't understand like the importance of whatever happened or transpired, you know, and just kind of like lay your piece out there. And if she wants to reach back, if they want to reach back out, you can just leave the floor open and reach back out. But if not, you got to close that chapter, because I mean, you can't go out there just chasing people. Like, if they don't want to be your friend no more, I mean, it's not too much you can do. You can try to salvage the relationship and salvage the friendship, but you know, if they kind of like, if they're done with it,
blocking you out, right? Like, I mean, I think that at some level, now I've been in a situation where we were disconnected, and I reached out to them. I was like, hey, listen, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did, but if there's something that I did, please forgive me. I would never want to, like, our friendship means way more to me than for us to let this go. And it turned out that whatever they were dealing with had nothing to do with me. They actually had extenuating circumstances that had them in a position where they weren't in a position. They didn't want to communicate with anyone. Right. They weren't ready to. So I feel like that's one thing, but it seems like you've reached out. It seems like you've done all that you can do. And you really, at this point, I mean, because I've seen this happen before in a sad way. I've seen like how a friendship can really, like someone that you just disconnected, not talking to anymore. I've seen how that can really hurt and affect people. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very immature on the friend's behalf. Like, if there's an issue, like I'm saying this to anybody, if you have an issue with somebody, communicate. We've grown. Like, don't sit out here and just have a person for 30 years and you just don't communicate because of pride. I just was listening to a sermon about pride and how pride is like the biggest, I don't know. It's the biggest inhibitor. It's the one thing that in the Bible is the one sin that really prevents us, that cuts us off, that cuts us short. And I really do believe that for someone to just not communicate with you unless there was something that was said to her that made her feel like she just didn't have to have any type of ties or anything like that, I feel like I will fight as long as I can. Maybe there's things that you just haven't done. I will go as far as I could go because it seems like it's a friendship that means a lot to you. Pride to the side, I'll go as far as I can go. That means I show up at her house. I show up at her house. If it means that much to me, I'm gonna go that far. If it's like 30 years.
We've gone, years without talking before. And I think there was like 1 year that, because like you said previously, like sometimes I get hung up in my relationships or whatever. And there was like 1 year I was like really intentional about like my friends. And I was like, because usually what'll happen is I get in these relationships, I give my all to the person, and then, when my relationship dissolves for whatever reason, I'm leaning back on my friends again. And so it's like, I don't want my friends to feel like I'm only there.
Right.
I only pop up when bad stuff is happening
in my relationship.
And so like, there was like 1 year, I was like, I haven't talked to, I have like a close knit, maybe like 5 or 6 people who are just like super close with. And I was like, 1 year, I was like, I'm just going to really like be intentional about, mending my friendships and seeing where everyone's at, and checking on them and being more intentional about checking on them regularly. And not letting the excuses of life and work and my relationship kind of hinder those, me progressing those friendships. And so I think, that, I think with her, I was just, I don't know. I would definitely try again. I'm the kind of person that I would, if I've completely exhausted all my options, like I can feel good about myself at the end of the day.
Right. Exactly.
Like if I've done
everything I can do,
everything I can do, then I can have a little bit more peace. And I think she would have a little bit more peace as well.
Right.
But there's really like, if she's not wanting to reach out to me, maybe sooner or later, time. People say time.
I think it does.
Sooner or later she'll come around, and y'all can. If you're in a position to where you want to reconcile, you might be completely over and don't want to hear anything she has to say.
Right.
Which I think can go make that back and forth situation. But I think maybe give it some time. Lay all your cards out there. Give it some time.
That's what I would do.
And
no pride.
See what happens.
No pride, no ego. Just put it all out there. That's what I would do.
Ego is a big thing.
Yeah. So that's my advice to you. Again, I don't feel like I'm hearing all the information. I feel like there's some things that I'm missing from the situation. Like, why do you feel like your friends would be just like conspiring together to no longer be friends with you, especially after that long of a relationship? I don't necessarily know if I believe that you just have no idea what it possibly could be.
Yeah.
But if I would go as far as I could go for a friendship that obviously means a lot to you, like we just said, and if she doesn't receive you after everything you've done, I think at that point your spirit would be like, you know what, it's time for me to let it go.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Well, anyway, guys, on my IG, I'm going off of this. I'm not going to be answering anymore on IG, but you have to go to my YouTube right now to see the rest of this show. So come to my YouTube. The link is in my bio. I just pinned the comment. You got to come to my YouTube right now to see the rest of the show. Okay. That's only question number 1. So see you soon. All right. So guys, anyway, nonetheless, what I was saying. So that is question number 1. I'm going to share that to my IG. I'm going to go ahead and just post it. But I want to hear y'all's comments. What y'all think? What do you see on there?
Let's see. So I see a bunch of I agrees. So yep, respect her choice, move on. That was Rochelle. And then it says sound really crazy. Well, it really sounds like this situation I'm in, so crazy. So other people are experiencing the same kind of situation.
Whoa.
There's another person who said that was a similar situation as well.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Like so many immature people.
Yeah,
that's immature as hell to me.
I mean, it is.
I'm a ghoster. Look, I am a ghoster.
Hey,
I am a ghoster.
I've ghosted.
I apologize for those.
I've pulled the Casper.
I'm Caspering people as we speak. I've disappeared on a lot of Casper the friendly ghost. I have disappeared.
Okay, that's crazy.
But it's not like a friend that I've been friends with for a long time. Like that's not how I do things. Like if it's been a long time, like you deserve me at least giving you the benefit of the doubt in some way. Click the link in my bio to join my to watch.
Seen some Libra bees.
Okay, was that what that is?
Yeah, people like leave her alone.
Oh, they said leave her?
Like one person said leave her be.
Oh, leave her be. She done all she can do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I ain't mad about that. I am not mad about that at all, y'all. I ain't mad about that at all. So
we got some other fellow ghosters.
I'm a ghoster. I am a ghoster. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will ghost you. But it's not gonna be a friend that I've been friends with for a long time. Like if you've ever seen me be friends with anybody, if we are not communicating and it's been a extensive friendship that meant something to me, you know why we not friends anymore. Yeah. It ain't no question. Like it's not like, oh, I don't know why she didn't talk to me ever again. Like, no, it's not that. You know, you know why we don't communicate no more. Like you're clear. So 30 plus years, your friend a little childish to me. 30 plus years, that means you've grown. That means you got to be at least 30. Yeah. If you have a 30 plus year friendship, that means you're at least 30. So at this point in time, like your friend need to grow up too. Like you let's communicate. Let's use our words, put a sentence together to tell your friend what's going on. That's really messed up. But nah, I don't like that. That's not really okay. Do all men cheat? What you think, Amber? Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
One dude.
You know what? A guy. So, I think people cheat. I mean,
I agree with that. I think people cheat. I agree with that.
Some people come over to my side and be thinking that, hey, it's gonna be better over here. To my side. Bruh. It's not better over here. Girls are very manipulative.
I think so.
They know you better. Like girls are like, I know girls too, so I know all the games. So we both good at cheating.
I think women cheat. I mean, men. I don't think all men cheat.
I don't think all men. Obviously, that's a very broad statement. Obviously, all men don't cheat.
Right. I think they think that all men have thought about cheating.
I think all people probably have thought about cheating. I would.
That's true.
Like your mind wanders. We're all adults.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Something cute walk past, your mind just goes, ooh.
You know that's true.
That's true. What it is. We're human.
We are. That's true. So we'll just let it go.
Don't come over here thinking it's any better.
Don't be going to the female side and thinking that they're not going to cheat on you. It probably does.
It does.
I can only imagine.
It does.
That really does hurt different. So let me.
Women are definitely better. You gotta be a little bit better at catching them.
You think they're better? I feel like I don't know. I'm gonna get to that question later.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Oh, we're driving that, Shaw.
Yeah, we're going there.
We're going there. Because he's had a video about me. So I will definitely be going there, y'all. So just wait on it. I will be going there. I'm not gonna say his name because he don't.
You want to speak in third person? When we
No, I'm not gonna do. I ain't gonna speak in no third person.
I want to speak in third person. That's kind of fun,
bruh. So
narcissistic.
So narcissistic. Like
when I saw the video, I was like, no, he's not.
Bruh.
I thought it was like a joke.
I'm like, he's not doing a reaction video.
This guy Derek. This guy Derek. He's like, someone commented to me. I should speak about this.
Some people think that I'm a guru.
You know what? I know some people say like
an icon.
When people say some people have commented, it's not some people. It's no one, and then you're just making it up. Someone commented said I should know you were looking for views. Like, no, come on now. We're not like, what are we doing here?
I can't.
Textbook DSM.
Seriously, DSM 5. For real. The most recent version.
The most recent version.
Yes. So next question. Advice for single women that have never been married on being ready for a spouse. What do you think, friend?
Do the work.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a great answer.
Do the work. Like,
great answer.
I think, and not even, you don't have to be, I think people always, I've seen like a lot of comments on just everywhere, to be honest with you. That's like one whole person needs to be with another whole person so they can form another whole person, I guess. And I don't think you need to be whole to be and like pursue a relationship. I think you need to be recognizing the things that you need to work through and work on, and be, actually work on them. Right. There's one thing to be like, I got all these problems, but never work on them, and you're just like dumping them on the next person that you're with and dragging whatever relationship baggage you have from the past. Right. And I'm never the kind of person that, if I'm out of a relationship and I'm still working on things and I come across somebody and who I see could be a potential person that I would want to, further a relationship with, I'm not going to put myself in a position to where I'm going to block my blessing. I'm just going to continue to work on myself, recognize the things that I need to work on in a relationship and continue to work on them, and be upfront about to the other person. I'm in that position. I'm very upfront about, to the person I'm with, about the things that I've gone through, the things that I'm going through, the things that I'm working on. I think that's always, being transparent. She
said, don't do it.
I mean, it's all about transparency. You just never know. God puts people in your life, and you don't know what those people mean to you. And I always get scared of losing like the good thing walking past me. Right. Out of fear of my own self. And so, I just think you gotta put in the work and be willing to humble yourself to put in the work and accept the person, that is coming into your life, and they have to be putting in the work too. So, and working towards something, I think, that's my opinion.
I would say to a single woman who is looking to be married and doesn't have children, I would honestly say, marriage, I feel like we have a real idealized vision of what we think marriage is going to look like. And we really, really don't see that we have to be complete by ourselves and that another person will not complete us. Yeah. And if we go into a relationship looking for a person that completes us, we actually have missed the whole picture.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to really, really identify. Number one, you have to be humble, because I think that a lot of people come into, I am who I am and I'm not going to change for nobody. No, if that's the kind of person you are, you don't need to be married. You need to stay by yourself, because marriage is a walk. It takes two people
sacrifice
constantly, and it's a mirror, and it's constant. It's somebody that you live with, that you're married to, that has this power over the situation, and you have said to God that you're not leaving them. And so there's going to be situations and circumstances that are going to try you more than any other circumstance in your life, just because of the position that person holds and the vulnerability in which you feel when you are married. So I say to you, have a therapist. Numero uno, have a therapist. Be accustomed to somebody peering into your blind spots. I call it blind spots.
I had two. I had one for my relationship and one for myself. Right. Because it's like the relationship one was trying to, mend the things that, were broken in our relationship and trying to fix those. But a lot of things that were broken in our relationship was things that was broken inside of me and things that were broken inside of her. And so I had to get my own personal therapist, because we couldn't be there for, I was talking about just me. And so we had to, it was a lot. And I'm not even gonna hold you. It was a lot.
Right.
And so, but, it got me to the point of where I'm at now, to realize that relationship was no longer for me.
Right.
Because I think that probably is where people have the hardest time. And it's like, well, you're married and you want to, you're supposed to sacrifice and make all these changes, but you're not also supposed to lose yourself and who you are. And I think, people expect you to, I think people have seen that so in like other people's relationships, especially like people who are older than us and who've been through, all kinds of things. Well, this person stayed in their relationship, the marriage is fine now. And it's like, yeah, but not everything is meant for everybody. Like, marriage is not supposed to, you're not supposed to lose who you are as an individual and as a person.
Right.
And once you can't start recognizing yourself and the person that you are, I think that is when you're like, I don't think this is for me anymore. And, that therapist helped me get to that point. And, I think, and then also like, I can't control what the other person is doing.
Right.
I can only control my actions. Right. And if that person's actions are no longer acceptable to me, then I have to remove myself from that situation, especially if that person is not wanting to change their actions for the sake of the marriage or the relationship.
Right.
So
yeah, and I really don't like the whole idea of societal norms. Like we feel like by a certain point we have to be married, we have to have this, we have to have that. That really puts a lot of pressure on us. So then the first person that decides they want to be with us long term, we jump into a relationship with them, and then we are in this long term situation with somebody we haven't vetted properly, and that we didn't listen to the red flags that were there. And so
Bob Ross over.
But she's supposed to be Bob Ross and
painting pretty trees over them little red flags.
And I say, like, you listen, when you are interviewing for somebody, you have to interview in a way that is like, first of all, you have to be willing to have somebody tell you about yourself. So that's where the therapy part comes in. Being in a therapeutic relation, really, you're accustomed to somebody telling about yourself. You're more aware of who you are and what you need and what you're looking for. Number one. But number two, I would say is that don't allow yourself to be constrained by the timelines that society puts upon us. Don't be constrained by the different things that societal norms and the pressures that are put upon us. Not even, I mean, it's between you and your creator, and that's all that really matters. And so for me, it's like, oh my goodness, now I'm 31, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, I'm thinking a lot of different thoughts. I want more children, all these different pressures. But listen, I'm not rushing into nothing. Like I am vetting, like, do I, just if I'm going to be dating, I've got to be vetting, and I've got to be in a therapeutic relationship, and I've got to have a strong relationship with my creator. That's what's very, very important to me. And so I would honestly say that I know you've never had children. I know you've never been married, but speaking from two people that have been married before, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, and you have to know you. And you have to be okay with being sacrificial. You have to be okay with being humble. You have to be okay with taking your time. Don't be on nobody else's timeline but your own. And understand that you, as much control as we try to have in this world, we literally have no control. We don't have control over nothing. Not even our own mortality. We have no control over anything. So once you release that control and allow God to be God, and you just do the best that you can, but you're doing your work. That's number one. Do your own work. Work on you. Focus on you. Focus on bettering you. If that means you want to get in the best shape of your life, that's something I decided to do. Get in the best shape of your life. If that means you want to go to school, if you want to get your career together, if you want to do certain things for yourself, do those things. Put those energy into those things. Don't put that energy into waiting for a man to save you from this whatever. I mean, there's a certain level of balance, and there's a certain level of being realistic when it comes to choosing partners and stuff. But that's a whole nother issue. Do your work. That's what I would say if you're waiting on a spouse. That's what I would say. You know what happened?
Just get really intense.
I know, right? I get real intense with this question. I really do. Somebody asked me, I see something that terrified me to be a part of the industry. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I have absolutely. I think that with the industry, here's the thing. Some people do the industry right. Some people do the industry wrong. It really is how it goes. But when some people you can lose your soul in it. That's just what it is. You can lose your soul in it. A lot of people will sell their soul, sell parts of their soul, in order to remain relevant, in order to gain public opinion and public affection. They lose parts of their soul trying to gain appreciation or accolades or whatever that comes from people that really don't matter. And so you start seeking a validation from the audience, and that becomes where you're getting your cup filled, and it's never not done being filled up, because the industry is a fast moving environment. And so, like I said, some people can become soulless individuals, chasing a check, chasing public validation, public being okay with them, public just you could start chasing and being on this hamster wheel, and you're never really happy because your soul is unfulfilled. Your soul is not meant to fill you. I
don't think that's an industry thing. I think that's a thing. I honestly think that's, it's like an American thing. Like, we're always chasing success and chasing the dollar on every level, and just chasing and chasing and chasing. And we're all in this little hamster wheel, and we put everything else on the back burner and put work, and put what we deem as success in front of everything. And we lose ourselves to making other people rich, to be honest with you, because if you're not owning your own business, you're making someone else rich. And so we're selling our souls and selling ourselves just to line the pockets of people who really don't care about us.
That's deep. That's real deep, but that's true. I mean, that's the real thing. So, I mean, even though she's right, it is an American thing. I think I saw a lot of stuff in the industry where on a bigger level, what people will do to remain relevant. And it's really sad because it ends up in a Robin Williams situation where you end up being funny, you end up being whatever, but you're empty. You're actually empty and you're dealing with something, and it causes, it does cause narcissism. It does cause mental health issues.
Well,
it does cause
when you're always acting, when are you ever really yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Like, your life is being somebody
else. You're on
else.
Instagram pretending to be whatever person you're trying to portray. You're at your job pretending to be whatever person you're trying to portray. And then you get by yourself and then you recognize like when you really sit with yourself and you really see who you are, you don't like yourself, and it's scary.
It can be scary.
And you're faced with just you.
Right.
That's probably the most where most people like lose themselves, like, yo, this is actually me, and you don't like it, and you don't want to ever go back to it. Right. So you go out looking for more validation. You go out trying to feel those things that you want to feel because you're so afraid of yourself. It's kind of sad, honestly.
Or you get into drugs and you escape reality.
Yeah.
Consistently. So, I mean, that's just what I feel about that. Okay. So, how did I find my motivation in losing weight while starting a new chapter? I've always been into fitness, but they were asking me, how did I find motivation in losing weight while starting a new chapter? Oh. Yeah. Well, and it was just me saying like, I'm just going to go all in. And I was digging deep. There's a lot of things that I've started in this time. And Amber can talk about things that she's done in her own time while we both are going through a divorce. Like, and so it's like we both have decided, like, we put our energy and time into things that we just haven't given ourselves while we were in relationships. We were so focused in our relationships that we weren't doing on our own. And it's forced us and pushed us into our uncomfortable zones. Being a fitness and into fitness as the way I am was an uncomfortable zone. I love food. Food is a comfort thing for me. And so pushing myself in that area has been challenging, but it's been so rewarding on the other side. So it was really just pushing myself and saying, listen, I'm going to do this for 2-3 months and see how far I can go. And when I was done with the 3 months, I saw the results and I'm like, I'm not stopping. And so that's where I was at with it. But I challenged myself to 3 months, and that was how it all started.
It's a lot better than what I did. I let myself have a whole phase.
I need a good glass of wine. Oh my God.
I've been in back-to-back relationships, okay?
Oh my God.
I've been in back-to-back relationships.
You're a serial monogamous.
I let myself have one of those. It was cool. And then I just worked on myself. I mean, I worked on myself during that too. I started meditating. I started, really digging into my graphic design, things that I felt passionate about that brought me peace and brought me happiness in mind. But I let my freak flag fly. You know what I'm saying? I let myself have a whole phase. It was lit.
Oh, Lord.
Cheese.
Next question.
It was great.
Oh my God. Some people be asking some crazy questions. No, I'm not going to answer all these. Have I ever been a victim of domestic violence? Yes, I have. I have in my life. Somebody asked me, do I think it is weird for my ex to go from me to an IG stripper? I'm not going to answer that one.
You want me to speak on that? Don't worry.
Oh, Lord, Jesus, be offense.
Hi, guys, I'm back. All right. So, she can't obviously answer that, but I can. That's me. I'm that friend. Don't say this stuff she can't say. All right. So, what was the question?
Do I think it's weird?
I don't think it's weird.
That my ex.
We're talking about. Let me not go very specific. I don't think it's weird, to be honest with you, because he has a public image to uphold. And people who want to be desirable will put themselves out there as if they are desirable and do things to, give her that image, give them that image of being desirable to fulfill.
I don't know why the situation.
They use other people to fulfill those holes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just put my thing on. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Next question. So, while married, were you ever scared your husband would be exposed for cheating? No.
It never struck me as the cheating type, to be honest with you.
I don't know him to have cheated on me. I don't know. I mean, y'all could surprise me with something tomorrow, but I didn't know him to cheat on me. That wasn't our problems, or that wasn't a part of our what our issues were. Was him cheating. I didn't worry about that one. Okay. Okay, that was somebody else. Derek Jackson's wife quoted 1,000 Bible scriptures in her defense of her cheating husband. What are your thoughts?
She's a great reader. You know what I'm saying?
She's a great reader.
She read those lines flawlessly.
Wow, she said she's a great reader. Lord Jesus,
I think she speaks really well when reading a script. Her husband has an image to uphold.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I think she, really, he's bringing the check. I mean, I'm not sure what she does for a living. I don't want to be too rude. But you gotta make sure money is still flowing in. And so, if you want to play that part, she grown. I think she did a great job reading that script.
Okay.
What did she say? She said her.
Don't
her.
Do this. Don't. She about to go in. Oh Lord, she about to go in. She's about to go in. Oh Lord.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, and she read that script really well. That's great.
Okay. I have a perspective.
Oh, you have a perspective.
I do have a perspective on this one. Here's my thing. I think that listen, I can understand a part of what she's dealing with, because I feel as though she, when you're in a relationship with somebody as a public figure that is now being, outed for whatever, and it's embarrassing and it's hard, this is a person you've chosen to stay with, and they're going through it mentally, obviously at home, and she's having to deal with that. And what do you do when you don't have any other outlet? For me, it was like in my marriage, and I've been open about this, was retreating to God. That was my thing. I retreated. I was like my prayer closet. I was praying. I was trying to find peace and finding peace within my spirituality, and that's what I did. I still do that. So I don't think it's anything wrong with her finding or resting in her spirituality. I just think it feels disingenuous.
Yeah, don't use Jesus as a tool.
It feels
God
disingenuous.
God's not here for your clout.
Right.
Don't use the scripture as a way to, I think that's like you say, it's disingenuous.
Yeah,
I think
it's disingenuous.
It's not. I think that's kind of low key disgusting. Like, that's not what God is here for.
Yeah, I don't like it. Even when I heard there were certain aspects of it where he was blaming Jesus. Like, listen, one thing I won't, bringing God. I understand bringing God into it, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
When they do something wrong, they say God, Jesus, forgiveness, because we as minorities, we tend to love Jesus. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is. We tend to love Jesus, and that's an easy way of fostering a sense of grace and mercy, and we forgive you, and because Jesus forgives, we are called to forgive, and that's where we go to. My thing is that, if we are so built up by God, and we are so feeding on his word, and we are so, I just don't, first off, I don't like him using his wife as a prop.
For real.
Because she's never been seen before.
like
until now.
I looked at his IG. I think it was like maybe 10 posts down before there was a picture of his wife, and it was like one of their wedding pictures when she was pregnant or something like that. Like his wife is rarely in any of his any of his videos, any of his pictures, anything like that. So don't grab her now to like use her as a prop.
She's a prop.
To like it's and then I'm not even gonna do all that because
it just makes me upset.
It wasn't a bonnet, it was a shield. My bad.
It was a helmet.
It was my bad. It was the
helmet of salvation. Because it's the helmet of salvation and breastplate of righteousness. That's what it is. Nonetheless, I'm not trying to do anything besides being
everything. Like we want Jesus to be a fence. We want Jesus to be
Jesus is the fence.
A shield. We want can we just let him be in your life?
Can he just be there?
The center, like
I didn't like that aspect of it. It's because like you don't use her now when you outed and you're downing other people and you've been going from a position that you're up here and these men are down here, and now something comes out and you're actually lower than them, and you have to use your wife to say we've already gone through this and she already knew about it, and then you can put her on screen and have her looking crazy. Like, make sure she looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't allow her to come on screen looking like whatever.
She shouldn't allow herself to do that.
She shouldn't, but you don't even know what that situation was.
I mean, I don't know the situation, but okay, so like, I have like a theory on all this. Not really a theory, but like a part of me feel like this should just be private, but it's all public. I don't know. I just like we care, but we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think it was a third person video for me.
That was actually, that's true.
Like I had a lot of sympathy.
Right.
The whole hand holding, I thought all of that was kind of weird too.
I didn't think it was that weird. I kind of figured that he would. If you're gonna have her in the video, you'd have to hold her hand. Like if you're gonna have her in the video, it has to be some type of. And he was holding her hand really, really hard.
He was like, I
could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reaction video to his video was what did it for me. That was what did it for me.
To be honest, I low-key wonder if any of this was all just fake. Like, I wonder if all of it's fake. Like, maybe she's really okay with it all because it really never happened, and this is all for cloud for,
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
You never know what's not.
No. I think he really did cheat. And
I'm pretty sure he did cheat.
I'm pretty sure he cheated. I just think that for me, it's like, don't use her as somebody that. Like, yeah, I did. When I did listen to her video, I did feel like there was something wrong. And I feel like she does need a therapist. Like, she does need, because listen,
a therapist, not like therapist.
No, right. It's not even like I have a therapist. I've been having a therapist for 8 years, but that my whole thing is that this is a woman that's clearly hurting. You know what I'm saying? There's clearly something else going on. And I feel like we're getting so lost in what she's saying and her appearance and when she was in the video. I think it's like, this is somebody who's hurting. Like she's I know she is finding out things that she did not know while the media in the world is finding out, and she's having to deal with that and be a mom and be a wife and uphold her family and be his rock, because I know he's destroyed because he doesn't like, I'm sure if he's anything like he think he is, I'm sure he hates
that. He didn't look too destroyed in that third person video.
Yeah, but he's narcissistic. He's gonna be destroyed for the fact that
public opinion gonna be destroyed when. Oh yeah, destroyed. Public opinion, like his image is.
Yeah, his image. Yeah,
he's probably more concerned about.
He's probably really hurting as well, because that's where
his image
hit him, is his image. So I mean, I don't know this guy, so I can't really say too much. But the reaction video to
guys like him,
right? The reaction video to his video, that's crazy.
That's gonna be a thing now. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah. Trauma. So many people walk around with it and don't address it. What's your take?
Therapy.
My take is therapy as well.
Like, I think this whole movement towards, normalizing therapy is really great. I think it should go forward. There's nothing better. Like, there's nothing, honestly, like, I think a lot of people are scared of it because it's a stranger, kind of like you're telling all your business to. But to be honest, they're a licensed professional. It's not like just like some person you met off the street.
Right.
You're telling your whole life story to is someone who is meant to understand trauma, understand the things that you've been through, understand the way, interpersonal relationships work throughout our lives, and understand that child development and how things from our childhood really impacts us as a human. I mean, as an adult, and so they're meant to handle everything that you're handing to them in a way that your friends and family might not handle it. Usually, I've heard too many times, like especially me, and coming out and doing all that. I've lost a lot of friends, who could not handle the things that I was going through. And I think, a therapist was way more equipped to handle that and respect me and help me like navigate through all that. I think I'll always, be, here for therapy when it comes, especially to trauma. Like your family usually they usually are the people who create trauma in your life, to be honest with you. Um, and you don't want to go to your family, like it's like going to the person who hurt you and trying to fix things with them without a mediator. Like you're going to the person who helped create the trauma to fix your trauma in your life that they created, and they don't even understand that was trauma or traumatic to you. And so I think a third party just who has that, who has studied and practiced it. And once you understand like how much like it takes to become a licensed therapist, I would trust them more than I trust my mom with some of the things that I've been through.
I hear that. I agree. Therapy. With trauma, the thing about trauma is that if you don't work through it, it's always gonna come back up. It's trauma.
For real.
Trauma is always it's gonna recycle. That's how your brain works. And so you can suppress it for a while. It's gonna come back up. You have to do your own work. You have to do your own work. And I think that people don't do enough of their own work, and then they end up traumatizing other people because they've been traumatized. And so there's this traumatization cycle that happens and goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on because you haven't done your own work. When you're in a dating situation, it goes back to the question before. When you looking to be somebody's spouse, when you looking to get married, when you have got to spend that time doing therapy. I can't be no therapist and tell you not to get therapy. I believe in it 100%. I think therapy and Jesus is really the double cup combination for everything. I mean, I really do. And I know that, people don't want to work through their trauma. They're afraid to work through their trauma. They feel like they've done a good job of coping without it, but you don't even realize how trauma plays out in your life. You might be so accustomed to living with trauma that you don't even realize what you're doing is actually dysfunctional. Because you're so used to living with you.
I think people want to handle the trauma, but like you said, they're afraid to face it. Like once you really face it and you have to put in the work to go through it, that's the part that people get scared of. People know they have trauma. People are like, I really want to fix this, but they see how big that mountain is. They see how much work it's going to take, and that's what makes them scared to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not a one-time thing.
For real.
Therapy is a long time process. It is not 2 sessions. Oh, I think I'm done. No, it takes time for therapy. Like my therapist just told me that she feels like I finally have come to a place in our therapeutic relationship where it's not certain things that as I was growing up, I was taught a certain kind of way. And so I was always looking for permission. When I was like with my mom and my family, I always wanted to please them. And I always was taught to like do things to make them happy, to make them okay with the decisions that I'm making. And I've finally come to a place where it's like, I'm not asking you for permission. I'm telling you what I'm doing. We can have a discussion about it, but ultimately it's my decision. And it's between me, God, me and my God. And I tell my friends and everything like that, I take their perspectives into consideration, but ultimately, yeah, well, yeah, she does. But I have friends that have very strong opinions. All of them do. But it's like and I take them into account. Like I'm also not the person that in the past, like I would do things that I would just do it. When I got married, I was like, I'm doing it. Like I don't care what anybody thinks.
I was the same way.
Like I'm in love with this person. This person's everything to me. I want to be with them forever. We're gonna get married. And yes, I got married in 6 or 7 months. And that probably wasn't the wisest decision on the other side of the fence. But I was like, now that I'm on another side of it, I can say to myself, you know what? It wasn't, I don't speak ill of my ex. I think he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I think he loves his daughter. I just think for me, it's just like, there was things that I should have listened to. There was things that I didn't maybe didn't look into more. And I next time when I start dating and getting back into that pool, because I will be dating. Okay. Period. I will be dating. I'm getting my vaccine and I will be dating.
Returning to the streets.
Returning to the streets.
Hey guys.
Been a minute, but I'm back now. Been a minute, but I'm back now. But no, nonetheless, what I'm saying is that, you know, I will be taking my friends' opinions into consideration. I will be talking to my therapist. I will be brutally honest. I am going to be unapologetically myself. I'm not going to hold back. I didn't do that the first time anyway. I was very, very honest in my dating relationship before, but like, you know, even in this situation, like more so with my friends and my family, I'm going to be more transparent because I really want to know that I'm making the right decisions. And even though I'm quote unquote on the danger zone, based upon Kevin Samuels.
What's that? What? Oh,
danger zone. I like Kevin Samuels. I do. I like him. I don't know why. I do. I do like him. No, you don't. I mean, I like him a little bit.
No, you don't.
Okay. I like him, but I don't like him.
I don't think he like himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Where's she going?
I see what self-hate looks like.
All right.
Maybe a pen. Y'all hear self-hate when y'all see him? Maybe he don't like his mama. Maybe he don't like black women.
I don't know if I get.
Maybe
I mean,
he talk to black women.
Yeah, I think he talks to a lot of women in that
Maybe
way.
He don't like women. Like that's the thing. I think people. You know, I heard someone say, "Kid Fear." If you ever listen to the Reed podcast, he said something that was so profound. I think men like the idea of women, but don't like women. Like,
no, I believe that.
Like
I do believe that.
When you hear like how black men like just
I believe that.
Sorry, I don't mean to like say black men, but men in general treat women like men just really like the idea of women. They don't really like women like that.
I agree with that.
But that's just, you know.
I agree with that.
I think Kevin Samuels is that guy who likes the idea of women but don't like women.
Right. I think I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do think that men like the idea of women, but the complexities and all the other stuff that come with us. Yeah, the reality of us is a little different. We hit a little different. And I'm not gonna lie, just like men, I think I like the idea of a man, but men be a lot, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. And Amber, you know, women is a lot.
Women are a lot.
Women are a lot. Like
I wouldn't trade it for the world though.
The idea is
would never date a man again.
I know. Well, fortunately,
never going back.
I will take those man problems for you guys.
You can have all of them.
I will have them all
of them.
But I think that Kevin's. I do see some validity to what he says, but I can see how people take issue with it. I definitely can see certain aspects of it that are they are. I think because he's speaking to a demographic that I dated, so I listen to it to see if there's any truth to what he's saying.
Okay, but here's my thing though, like, right, okay, so with Kevin Samuels, right, this is my issue with him, is that
I dated and married.
This is my thing, like, so he always like tells women what they can and like can't tell men, but has no problem telling women what women should do. Like, women can't, like, if women can't speak for men, don't speak for women. Am I
Women can't speak for men, don't speak for women.
Am I wrong in that thought process?
But he's not talking for women though. If you like watch his things, he's not talking
for women.
He's talking for men. See, you don't watch him, so you don't.
I don't, and I honestly don't.
See, like you just be.
I don't give a shit, to be honest with you, because like I feel like downplaying women is not attractive to me, and
I don't think it's attractive. It's not attractive.
Think it's a way to make money. I don't think it's making money.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying.
Off the back of women, and no one's seen you with the woman. So
that's true. Well, we haven't, and that's true.
And it makes a lot of sense when
that's true. If
you don't like women, you don't like women.
All right. Well, here we go. Shows. And the next question. What to do if you are not, and I'm going to switch this question up. What to do if you feel like you are not receiving enough attention from your spouse?
Communicate.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Communicate. I would just say it. Actually,
honestly, I would just say
have said it.
Yeah, I've said it too. Hey,
kind of got us. in a spiffy, but
a little
spat, but I definitely have
attention. I would like some too.
I definitely have said it.
Here's my attention bowl. Would you like to put something in it? What? Here's my attention bowl.
Like I was like, what? What?
I'm just putting things in your attention bowl.
Right. Well, I hear that. I like right. I would honestly say, yeah, communicate. Like, listen, like I'm not feeling like I'm getting attention. I need some more. I would be very honest like that. That's how I would do it.
And this is how I like to receive my attention.
If
I like cuddles.
And the thing is,
I want cuddles.
And somebody asks, if you say it and nothing changes, then what?
You tell them again, I want cuddles. Like, it's not like like, why aren't you giving me cuddles?
Hey, I said it.
I said I want cuddles. Do you not want cuddles?
You got 3 more times. And I'm stepping out. You got 3 more times, and I'm gonna
find someone who like cuddles.
I'm gonna outsource in this mug. I'm gonna outsource. You got 3 more, and then I gotta outsource.
And I'm gonna find someone who likes said cuddles.
No,
so come over here and cuddle with me, or I shall find someone who does.
You got 3 more times.
Got 2.
2 more times, and then I will outsource.
If these cuddles do not commence.
If he said did what?
If the cuddling does not commence.
Oh, it doesn't commence. Okay, got you.
I will find someone to commence those cuddles.
Commence the cuddles. The cuddles will be commenced.
The cuddles gonna happen. You can either be a part of it, or you can watch someone else be a part.
No, okay. We're saying here we go.
I don't mean that.
But we're not talking about if you're married.
Maybe not. I don't mean that. Just want to make sure, man.
But if you're not,
she's watching.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I just want to know. I don't mean that.
The offense. So I would just say that if you're married, it's a little different. I would not suggest that in a marital situation. I would honestly say, listen, I need more attention from you. You know, it makes me feel like X, Y, and Z. So I would need you to do that. If this person still continues or refuses to do the things that you're asking of them to do, then I think that you have to take it to like, okay, do we need to go to marital therapy? How do you have to keep going.
The cuddles will be brought up in therapy.
Yeah, you have to keep, if you're married, you have to keep fighting for what this is not, you with this partner for life. So it is not, there's no limit to how many times you bring that up in a marital situation. You keep advocating for what you need.
So I'll be in the therapist
until you meet it.
Period. Like, what's the main issue? So I told her 3 times that I like cuddling, and I'm almost outsourcing. So how do you help us figure out why the cuddling isn't happening?
I've had friends say, I've had women that are married tell me, they said, listen, I am this close to cheating on you. So we need to figure out. And unfortunately with a man, that is the way you get them. Unfortunately. I'm not saying don't say that.
You have to threaten outsourcing to get cuddles?
Sometimes if you really feel like you really need men, not saying don't say it if you don't mean it. That's not what I'm saying. Because once you throw it out, period.
Oh, I mean it.
When you throw it out, don't throw out divorce if you ain't finna divorce. Don't throw out leaving you ain't finna leave. Don't do anything in no relationship if you're not willing to act on that. You've got to be willing to act on that. So what I would honestly say is, if you're in a situation and you're married, you have to continue to advocate for what you need and basically say, listen, I'm at this place. I feel like I don't know what we're doing. I need these needs met. I don't feel like my cup is filled. So what do we need to do? Do we need to go to the therapist? How do we go from keep advocating until something moves?
Yeah.
Closed mouths don't get fed, period, in life. So you've got to continue to keep advocating for what you need. And if that means the house shakes, the house shakes. The house is going to continue to shake because you're not going to allow yourself to stay in something. There's obviously things that you're going to have to sacrifice and compromise because people are not all created the same. He has needs, you have needs. Mm-hmm. But the reality is you have to continue, or she has needs and she has needs, whatever it looks like, whatever that relationship looks like. Advocate. If you're married, if you're dating and a dude ain't meeting your needs.
Oh, that's
sis. What are we talking about?
Advocate.
Or we're
dating.
We're dating.
There's someone else who's out there giving you cuddles. Like,
we're not married.
You're not the cuddle. Apparently, this guy's not the cuddle guy. This guy's the.
Clearly, you can't meet a need that I need you to meet. This don't work.
He's the crab leg on Friday guy. We get crab legs on Friday.
If you're not gonna work harder, because I know as a partner, I'm gonna work harder to meet your need. If you say something to me, And that's the thing. Don't be out here asking him to do X, Y, and Z, and you ain't willing to cross over a puddle for him. You've got to also be willing to do whatever he needs you to do when he needs you to do it if you're expecting him to do the same thing. Because a lot of us women, we be very selfish with our love. We be very selfish with the things that we are willing to do and not do. And we won't compromise, but we expect you to do X, Y, and Z and no X, Y, and Z and do X, Y, and Z. No, we both in a relationship, we both are going to have to make sacrifices. Different sacrifices are different, whatever that is. But regardless, you advocate for your needs and you have to be willing if you want somebody to meet yours, you got to meet theirs too.
Yeah. I'll give it a whole word if you just give me cuddles.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, Mo, to be honest with you, if you advocate, you got to keep advocating. You're not advocating. You got to keep advocating. Period. You got to keep advocating until something changes. You pray and you advocate. You pray, therapy, advocate.
And then ask
pray,
therapy. Why hasn't anything changed? Like, hey, I brought these issues to you. Is this something that you're not comfortable doing?
Right.
Like, this compromising too. So I think, understanding his perspective of why he feels like maybe like, why isn't this a priority for you? If this is something that I'm bringing to you and I'm serious about it and we're talking about it, why isn't it a priority for you? Like, what is it about what I'm asking that is too much for you?
Right.
I think that's a really, great question to ask.
Yeah.
How many people would you date at a time?
Like now? Or like in the past?
I date one.
Depends on where we are in a relationship.
Yeah, like back in my prime.
Yeah. I'm talking about like when I'm like not in anything.
As many as I can handle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Being that people see me as the masculine one in whatever situation we got going on, I'm the one usually shelling out the money. So I keep it limited because I got bills and stuff. My world looks a little different.
So, Rachel, I'm just trying to understand, what do you disagree about?
What's she doing? I don't know. Let me see. Did she say something else?
She said, haha, I disagree with men. They want what they can't have. They like to chase it. So this is logical advice, but doesn't really work with men. Would I date a pastor? Yes.
Okay, so wait, did she say something else in the?
I don't know. I really don't understand where she's
Is
getting.
This Rochelle?
What she doesn't.
Can you explain a little bit further? That way I can.
Yeah, I don't really know what you disagree with.
Like, what part are you disagreeing with?
Yeah, I don't really know what you're disagreeing about. About advocating?
I don't think you should be begging men to give attention. So there's a thing, like there's begging and then there's asking, right? I don't give like.
But hold on. I gotta ask her a question. Are you married? Are you married, Rochelle?
I don't even think you have to be married.
No, I'm just. This is what I'm just trying to understand where she's at in her relationship. I'm just trying to understand because there's differences. Like, are you married? Are we talking about in a married situation? Or talking about in a dating situation? Because I think that when you say I do to somebody, my husband chases me constantly. Okay, that's good. So what I'm saying to you is that men are not all created the same.
People are not all.
Yeah, you can't say that because one man chases you all the time and you played a cat and mouse game that's worked for you doesn't mean the next person is going to work the same way.
Like, it won't work the same way. Everyone's love language is different. We receive love and give love differently.
Right.
Honestly, and so like I think bringing something to someone's attention isn't begging for it. Like
it's not.
If something that you need is not being met, like there's no like, and then also if you're married, marriage is like the most intimate relationship you're supposed to have, right? And so you should be able to come to your partner and be like, hey, there is something I'm not getting from you that I want or need.
Right.
That's not begging. That's saying that I'm asking for something that I like, that feels good.
Right.
And I would like you as my partner to give it to me.
Right, because they don't have a roadmap into who you are.
Right.
They don't know what you need. You have to advocate and communicate what you need. A man's not gonna know like, oh, she needs this today, right now at 3:00. They won't know that.
Now the question is how many times that we're asking, then
like please like, love me. Like, no, I'm not saying that.
No, like F that. But what
no
I'm
one's
saying, like,
that.
but what I'm saying is that, like,
it's called communication.
Right.
It's not. We can't read minds. We as humans do not read minds. Even in our friendships, I just went off about somebody that was in a 30+ year relationship, and yet they had still not communicated with the person that they were friends with. That's That's basic ass communication. That's communication. That's just me saying, listen, I need this. Listen, I need that. You don't need to beg no man for nothing. I'm never gonna say that. I don't beg no man for nothing either. I ain't never gonna tell no woman that. But what I will tell you is that in a relationship, you have to communicate your needs. That's what makes it effective communication. She's not gonna in Amber's situation, her partner's not going to know her needs, and she's not going to know her partner's needs unless they communicate it.
Exactly.
And that's the same with a man. A man will be even more clueless than a woman in understanding what the other person needs, because they have a whole different compass. They understand things completely different. And I'm glad, Rochelle, that it's working for you, that you play this cat and mouse game and your man traces you constantly. In my situation, that was sometimes the case. It wasn't sometimes the case. And there was times where I had to ask for what I needed.
Right. And I think
that's just what it was.
I think as everyone talks about marriage, there's no linear, like there's no perfect marriage, there's no linear marriage, there's no one's marriage is identical.
No.
Everyone's an individual, and so everyone's marriage is going to look differently. And if that works for you and your husband, then that works for you and your husband. You know what I'm saying? And which is great, because it brings peace and keeps.
But you probably have another issue,
the light alive, in
that may not work that same way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't shame somebody else for their issue. Maybe your issue ain't sexual. Maybe your situation ain't attention. Maybe your situation is something different. And everybody's relationship is different. And you're not gonna go into any marriage or any relationship is gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be 100% perfect with anybody. So there's gonna be an aspect of that relationship. Okay. It's going to be an aspect to their relationship, to everyone's relationship, that is going to be an area where you will need to communicate, period. Because you're not raised in the same household. You're not marrying your brother or your sister. You're marrying somebody from completely different life experiences that have done completely different levels of work. And so I just say, you just have to be open to what everybody else has got going on. Like every household, like in my situation, like I'll be open and honest. Like in some of my relationships, I've had to say, whoa, like, don't touch me right now. That's not where I'm at. And then there's some relationships where I'm like, please, like, I need this. This is not going to go the way you want it to go unless I get more of this. Like, I've had to be honest about it. So it's like everybody is different. And I don't believe in begging. I do believe in advocating, and I do believe in effective communication and not expecting the other person to read the other person's mind.
Yeah, sorry, Amber. No, you're good. Like for me, like in my past relationship, in my marriage, rather, the person I was with, I get really hung in my work. Like in the beginning of this, I work. That's what I do. I work. I put work far too above too many things that it should be above. You know what I'm saying? Right. Which is something that I'm working on. I'm always transparent about that. And so my spouse at the time, was asking me for things, and I would say, yeah, that's okay, I'll give it, but then like work with, like, and sometimes you just have to be reminded. And she wasn't begging me, but I needed a reminder every once in a while, like we get so tied up in this world. We're humans. Right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're humans. We get so tied up in this world and get so tied up into work and trying to progress our lives and be more successful. Right. And, attain the things and goals that we have, that sadly, people get pushed to the side, and which shouldn't be the case. And sometimes you need like a little gentle reminder, like, yo, this is something that I need, and, people try to give that. I think, in this situation, I really do feel like, it's just communication and consistent communication. Absolutely. And being willing to, it's always about the other person being willing to make those changes and try to put priority to where they need to be.
Right. I agree with that 100%. I really do. Okay, guys. So, Amber, I didn't know if you knew, but we're a little over time.
Oh, I'm a little drunk anyway, so
it's okay though. I mean, it's an hour and 15 minutes, but I didn't do last week, so y'all, I haven't been stickler about the time. I got a babysitter, so I'm like feeling froggy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the last question, and then we'll take questions on the forum. We'll go till 1:30, and then we'll let it. You good with that? Okay. And we'll just go to 1:30 and we'll go as far as we need to go. One question for me is, how do you let a person earn your trust again after it's been broken?
You test. I'm just kidding. How do you let a person earn your trust?
After it's been broken? I can tell you my way, but
I mean, only thing I can think. So I like movies. So I relate a lot of things to the Spider-Man movies. If you haven't seen Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, it's amazing, by the way. It's the Black Spider-Man. It's lit. It's honestly a leap of faith, which I think is a very generic statement. But when he was like realizing he was becoming like Spider-Man, he had to take a leap of faith off the building.
Yeah.
And I think it's very difficult, but I think it comes with the work that you're putting into yourself, because trust issues are twofold. It's that person doing you wrong, and then it's how you're handling that person who has done you wrong.
Yeah.
And I think a true test of your what was it? There's like a saying that says like the true test is how you treat people who have done you wrong. And I think, give me a second. I'm a little drunk.
Okay. Can you use some water?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Feel
a little too lit.
I think honestly that it all comes down to, at the end of the day, you have to take a leap of faith.
You do.
But you have to put the work into yourself to be okay with any outcome that might happen. Yeah. Like you might, if you put yourself out there, you might get hurt again. Yeah. But this might be the best thing that ever happened to you. Right. And I think for me, that's what got me into my next relationship, to be honest with you, is I was hurt tremendously in my past relationship. And I think it scared me in a lot of ways. Right. But instead of playing games with the person that I'm with now, I was like, let me take a leap of faith and try this one more time, putting my all out there. I've done the work on myself, and I'm continuing to do the work on myself. And the person I'm with, she's putting the work in herself as well, and is committed to pursuing and continuing to do the work on herself, which I think made me a little bit more comfortable of letting myself open up to her. But I think it comes down to that, is really just being like, you know what, I'm going to just throw it on the line and let go and let God. And if I get hurt, I'm okay. I've been hurt before. I think that also helps. Like, I've been hurt before. I know what hurt looks like. Yeah. And I was able to get through it, and I'm strong enough to get through it. But I'm not going to let this good thing go past me because my fear of being hurt again. Right.
And I don't feel like you should make any.
Did that make sense?
It made a lot of sense. Logical? No, okay. It was very logical.
Did that make that?
All the connections came together. They all did. They all came like this. This a circle.
I'm on number 3 of these, so I'm just making sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, man, I drink them like juice.
Jeez, I didn't even see.
It's like juice in this little cup, and it keeps it cold. Jeez. I think it keeps it cold for like 12 hours too.
I'm like, got you. Well, anywho, no judgment here, no judgment zone. But yes, everything you said made sense, and I agree with a lot of what she said. Was that I think that for me, when it comes to what I've had to learn in this life, and what I'm still learning, is that I've had to learn, like, even when it came to like big decisions that I've made in my life, it's like the security that no matter what happens, God has always is sovereign. Mm-hmm. God's way will always happen. Yeah. And so I've had to receive that, even if this situation doesn't work out the way I want it to, and even if I've learned to be secure, not within myself or the person that I'm in, or putting my trust in that. I'm putting my trust in God, that even if this situation doesn't amount to what I want it to, I trust God that this is not the end, that this is not going to be the last thing that I see. This is not going to be the last love that I have, that if this is not where God has me, God has something better for me. And I truly, truly believe that. I believe that with my entire being. So my security doesn't come from my next relationship. The security doesn't come from my decision making. The security doesn't come from, oh, I'm afraid of this, that, and the third. My security that comes from taking a risk is, I know my heart has been broken again. Like Amber just said, my heart's been broken again. I bounced back. And I've had a lot of things taken from me, and I've bounced back. And there's a lot of things that have happened to me in my life, and I've bounced back. God has in my life has been a miracle worker. He's moved mountains, he's changed situations, he's turned circumstances inside out, upside down, from the front to the back, from the back to the front. He has done amazing things in my life. And so what I would say is that my faith in God has increased and my faith in myself has decreased. And therefore, I am more secure in what God has on the other side of things. So if I don't make the right decision right away, because of course, when we're both walking out of a marriage, so us walking out of a marriage is us divorcing, being divorcees, really. On the other side of that situation, we're saying to ourselves, wow, it's scary to think about the next situation. It is scary, but I no longer have fear. I don't have fear associated to that. I've been doing my work. I've been working out. I've been talking to God. I see my therapist on a regular basis. I'm doing everything that I can do to make myself a better person and focusing on who God wants me to be versus the woman I was. And I'm completely secure that if this situation doesn't work, I'm completely secure if the next situation doesn't work or whatever that is, God's got me. He's always had me. Yeah. He's always had me.
One thing that I want to sort of piggyback off of is, so don't, like, I remember in my marriage, like, I was like, God, like, if this is one thing that I tend to always do, and God always shows me, and I always get scared once he shows me, is I always pray, like, God, is this what you really want from me? And don't ask that question unless you're ready for the answer. Because when I tell you, like, I was like, God, send me a sign. When I mean, so I live outside the perimeter, and so, like,
we're in Atlanta, y'all.
Just a little insight. So we were going to couples therapy, and I was like, God, please send me a sign. Like, if this is not what is meant for me, please, like, show me it's not meant for me. There used to be a sign that said divorce, like, in big letters. Jeez. That sign is no longer there. But every time I went to therapy, that sign was there. And I kept asking God for a sign. I kept asking God, like, if this is what you want from me, like, I will accept it. And he kept showing me this is what he wanted from me. And I was like, I kept seeing the sign. And I swear, I promise on everything that I love, that sign is no longer up. Like, I can tell you exactly which sign it was on 285. That sign is no longer up. Ooh, and every time I asked God to give me a sign, that's, like I said, that sign, it reminded me. And it was always on my way to therapy, because I would leave work and go to therapy. And so, like, it was on my way to therapy. And then as soon as I, moved out, as soon as I said, I filed for divorce, as soon as I got all that stuff taken care of, I promise you, I ride past that sign all the time. That sign is no longer there.
Wow.
So, like, don't ask for signs, and don't ask for things that you're not ready for.
Or not ready to move on.
Not ready to move on, because if you ask for a sign, God's going to give you a sign.
He's going to do it.
And I prayed, like,
He's going to do it.
I prayed that God would send me someone who would meet me where I'm at, who would love me, and who would appreciate me and everything I was going through. And he did.
Wow.
And, at that, I just had to be willing to take that leap of faith that, that he's got me, and God has always got me. Like, no matter where, everything that I went through, like, I look back at all the things that I went through, and I don't even remember half the logistical the sides of the things that I went through. I just remember I was going through a lot.
Right.
And looking back on it, and it's just like, I got through it.
You did.
And so, like, even at this moment, like, I won't ever remember the logistical side of every argument, of everything that person did to hurt me, or everything I did that person to hurt them.
Right.
I won't remember any of that, but I remember how it made me feel.
Right.
And I remember how I feel now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think, when we're talking about, but
we're talking about being afraid of getting hurt and not allowing the pain to get in the way.
And I think, you just gotta throw yourself out there, and God's gonna take care of you, because he usually always, not usually, but he always does. And it might not be on your timeline; it's gonna be on his timeline, and it is what it is. But you're always gonna be okay.
That's right. No matter what it is, you're always gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. You gotta trust God, and I trust God 100%. So I mean, that's what's developed within me, is the security. And she's right. A lot of you guys are in relationships, and you guys are battling within yourselves to stay in them. And I believe that in my situation and in Amber's situation, it's like when you ask God that question, that dangerous question, like, God, I don't want what you don't want for me. Show me the signs in which if I need to go, make it clear, make it plain, give me the burning bush.
So clear.
And the thing about you is that no matter what your situation is, you've got to trust that even if it's a leap of faith, even if it's something that doesn't even make sense, but you got to allow God, because there's somebody that asked the question about, like cheating in marriage and things like that. I think that cheating is redeemable in marriage. I don't think that cheating is something that you automatically exit stage left, I gotta go. If it's something that's done on a repeated basis and somebody's not willing to change their actions to make you feel more comfortable, then yes, I do think
completely agree.
I think it absolutely is the exit stage left. But if it's somebody that's like, damn, I've made a mistake, I'm so sorry, I will never do this again. What do I need to do? How do I prove it to you? And willing to put the work in to make you feel more comfortable, then absolutely, then go with it. But I think you fight for your marriage. As long as there's a dog in the fight for it. But don't just leave it.
But do not lose yourself.
Right.
Because like, I will always say that, like, you should fight for your marriage. But the second that you don't recognize yourself and to recognize the person that you're becoming, and you can no longer, like, I'm sorry, like,
go ahead, Amber.
I love marriage. I would get married again.
Yeah, me too.
In a heartbeat.
I would too.
But what I'm not going to do is lose myself, because at the end of the day, that's all I have is myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is not going to destroy the person that I am and belittle me to uplift themselves. To create this marriage. No, that's not what God deems marriage. And yeah, I'm gay or whatever. You can say whatever you want, but I'm not gonna destroy who I am as a person. If I know that my heart is good and I know what I'm bringing to this marriage is worthy,
right?
Just to be trampled all over. That's not going to happen at the end of the day.
Healthy relationship.
And I would divorce again if I was ever put in the same situation I was put in.
Wow.
Like, for sure. Wow. Like, I'm not going to lose myself.
No.
Period.
No. I think that's deep. I think that's really good. That's a really good. I don't have anything to add to that. That's really good. Y'all want to ask us a couple? We have 4 more minutes, or 3 more minutes. So I'm going to be respectful. This is an hour. Amber was like nervous about this, and look, Amber right here just like trucking through this thing.
I'm all lubed up on mine.
No, lubed up. Anyway, but y'all ask us questions. We're looking at the lives. And I'm gonna let Amber ask the question and we'll answer it. So I'll let her choose the questions that we answer next.
Let's go. How did you get? Still working on that.
How did you get your ex to agree to a divorce? That is the question.
You fill out the paperwork. Georgia makes it really easy to fill out paperwork.
They don't have to agree.
They don't have to.
They don't have to agree to a divorce.
They don't. It's called an uncontested divorce, and you just serve them paperwork, and we'll see you in court.
Or contested divorce. If they don't agree, it's contested.
It's contested. We'll see you in court. You don't have to agree. We'll see you in court.
Yeah. So I'm saying, yeah, they don't have to agree to get divorced.
You don't even worry about agreeing or not agreeing.
Doesn't matter.
We'll see
you. Duke it out later.
I'll fill the paperwork for you, and I'll send it to you. First class mail.
Anyway, next question.
You're gonna get these papers.
Do you think you have to dress up all the time when you're married, or can you be casual and comfortable at home?
I saw that comment. I saw that question earlier.
I have a comment. Can I?
Good.
Yeah.
Please.
And I would love to hear your comment, because I think it'd be very interesting, as like we're different. I think that for me, I'm very casual and comfortable type of person, but I definitely believe as a woman, you don't ever let your edge go. You never let your edge go. You never let yourself go. So that is like going out to eat or making it sexy, or just wearing something that maybe it is technically casual and comfortable, but it's still sexy looking, or whatever that is. I believe in that. You got to keep it high. As a woman, I don't care how many kids you have. I did that right. I mean, probably like 6 months after my C-section, I was walking around in different kind of clothing for my husband, and just making it I kept it very sexy. I got myself right back in shape, and I really believe in like keeping it sexy. I do. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to dress up all the time, but I think that there is times, like in any situation, where you keep making an effort. Don't stop making an effort for the other person.
I'm in a little bit of a different. I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I'm seen as the masculine one, even though I'm so feminine on the inside.
She is.
On the outside as well. To be honest with you, for me, I mean, I feel like I don't know, man. If you want to wear sweats all day, I don't give two shits about that. Like, just do you. Like,
yeah, Amber really don't. I don't really see that.
I'm super chill.
I don't see that with her. I don't think women. Maybe
like,
women aren't the same.
Out, like, if we're going out, I would I'm the kind of person like I'll throw on like some, what do you call these joggers?
Yeah.
Throw on some like little walking shoes,
right.
throw on a hoodie and a hat, and throw these chains out, put my pinky rings on. I look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is people think this is good. And then my girl, she might be like, I want to do my hair and all that. Like, okay, do you? If you want to put your hair in a bun? No, care. Like, none of that stuff really bothers me, to be honest with you.
Right. I mean, yeah.
But if you feel like you need to put on makeup, do that. If you feel like you want to throw on something a little cute, okay. Like, we're just going to the grocery store, so if you want to do all that, all right.
I hear that. My mom always told me, though, when I was growing up, and this is, if y'all are part of Power Up, my mom always taught me, and I'm going to say it the way, because I feel like it's worked for me. It's like, I'm going to be fine forever. So I'm never going to keep my foot off the gas pedal, period. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep working at it. I'm going to keep doing things to make myself feel beautiful. I'm going to continue to do my best to be beautiful and, and do different things.
I agree, because I'm going to always smell good. You know what I'm saying?
You have the best. She has great smelling.
I'm going to always smell good. And I'm going to always,
Is it mostly colognes or is it perfume and
cologne? I don't want trade secrets. It's trade secrets.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So it's just oil.
Trade secrets. Oh my gosh, okay.
I use a mixture of oils. You know what I'm saying? I'm into that. Some frankincense and myrrh. I'm not gonna tell you which brand. I'm not gonna tell you how I get it. Wait, that's real?
You wear frankincense and myrrh?
Yeah, that's usually like my undertones.
Like what they gave Jesus? Wow.
And what they do? They army crawl. They army crawl to me.
They army crawl. I am done, y'all. Anyway, it is
you have no idea how many comments I get about how good I smell.
30 minutes. To me, I to an hour and 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all.
Hi guys.
This has been Amber. And you guys have enjoyed her thoroughly, it looks like. Good. I am too, though.
And I do believe that. To be honest, I thought on like a lot of the clothes, they're casual clothes, but I look good in them. So, I guess I do the same thing.
You do. You do.
I don't wear makeup, but I'm gonna make sure my hair is retwisted.
Well, no, you make an effort.
That the locks are on point.
Yeah, you make an effort.
I'm gonna make sure the amber is underneath, a little slightly above the chain. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness gracious, be gorgeous.
Make sure the deodorant matches. You gotta make sure your deodorant matches this, like your scent. Like if you mix your deodorant and your smell and they don't mix, it throws off your smell.
What? Okay, no, y'all, I'm sorry. This is going too far.
No, for real, you have to balance your deodorant with your smell. Like your deodorant can't not like say if your deodorant smells like peaches, right? And say if your spray is like a musk, like peaches and musk, like you can't do that.
But whose deodorant smells like musk?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like your deodorant has to match your perfume of your cologne. It has to complement.
Like, okay, so if it's like a flowery scent, it should be a flowery.
Yeah, and also your detergent, your clothing detergent needs to also match. It's a science.
Wow.
Like your deodorant and your clothes, like the thing you wash and dry your clothes with, has to also match your cologne.
Well, I think I do that subconsciously because I really like lavender. Yeah. So like my deodorant's lavender.
Lavender's like really good.
And then my
lavender mixes well. Yeah, lavender mixes well with a bunch of stuff, but you just can never be like, I'm gonna do like this sporty Axie kind of smell and mix it with like this powdery deodorant and mix it with Tide.
Okay.
Like you just gotta your Persil. I use Persil.
Okay.
Because Persil usually goes good with. It's a detergent. It usually goes well with frankincense and myrrh. Like it. Oh. Like you gotta. It's all about balance.
All right, it's all about balance, y'all. So anyway, guys, we won't continue. We appreciate.
People understand what I'm talking about.
No, they do. They actually are really in it. They're there.
Like you have to.
They're with you.
And then your body excretes certain oils as well. So what you eat also has to. You have to drink a lot of water so you doesn't throw off. Like it all is science. Everything comes back down to science.
And that's where we will stop. Then that It's science.
I'll do a master class.
She will do a master class on scents. Because I don't know. I just know it smells good. I don't know.
Yeah, you just can't be throwing Tide with everything. Like Tide smells don't go with everything.
I do the free and clear one, so it doesn't have like a smell.
I mean, that's great too. So like if you do, then you have like a really good palette to like lay things on top of.
Gotcha. Like
you have a really good base. You have a good base to like things. It is like painting.
It's like a base.
Everything comes back down to Bob Ross.
It does.
Painting roses over relationships.
It does.
Painting, make sure you have a good base.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think they really enjoy what you're saying. So anyway, guys,
they know it's true though.
They do. No, they do, and that's what it is. So yeah,
and washing your ass is very important as well. Nothing goes great with musk. Like must, not musk, must. Nothing goes good with must.
Right. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the 5th episode of I Was Her with Amber. You can follow her on IG at Yo Chill Knox.
Yo Chill Knox.
I have tagged her in those posts so you can see her. And so if you want to see her, that's what it is. But she will definitely be back. She probably really thoroughly enjoyed this.
I would. Yeah, I did enjoy it. This is great. This is great. This is great. I'm having so much fun.
I can see. She'll go on for another hour, y'all.
If you let me.
But anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back next week on Thursday for my 6th episode of I Was Her.
What should I do like that?
That's it. That's how it doesn't even matter as long as it adds up to 6.
5 plus 1.
5 plus 1.
But if it's like 1 plus 1, sometimes equals 3. Babies.
Okay, anyway, time to go. So it's time for us to go. Thank you guys. We have had fun. They want you back. They haven't meant that it says the funniest episode ever. I'm sure it is. All right, y'all. Time to go. Love y'all. Bye. What is it? I don't even know what you just